and gentlemen, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, and a hey now, and hey now. Welcome to a brand new edition of the Line Talk 99.5 and Talk99.5.com on this Monday, December 8th. That's right, man. We're winding down the year, and I feel it, man. I feel like I'm winding down, and normally that's not the case this time of year. But it's just I don't know something about this year. I'm ready to just get it over with. You know?
Just tired of 2025?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's not like bad things happened in 2025. I'm just, mixed with the cold weather and everything else, I'm just like, I feel like I think I'm ruined to myself by taking the vacation on the week of Thanksgiving. And now I'm just like, I just want to take another bunch of vacations.
How much time you got left?
Too much, more than I can take. So
considering everybody's kind of piled on already.
Yep. So it's I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just one of those things. And it feels like a Monday. I don't know. But there's a lot of things to be happy about. Trump's your president. A great showing at the Christmas extravaganza on Friday. Had a lot of fun with that. A lot of good music. And boy, the Chub Father food truck slinging some kind of chicken ranch fries or something. Good Lord.
Yeah, I've had those. Those are tasty.
Those were amazing. My kid got some, so P. Diddy came with me, and it was me, him, and Trish, and he got some of those, and I tried some, and I was like, dang, bro. Dang.
I have yet to have anything at Will's place that is not good.
Yeah, me neither. It's just all bussin', as they say. It's bussin'. I will be taking some days. Let me look at this calendar right here, and I'm gonna tell you right
According to
quick.
what I've got, you've got December 17, 18, and 19 off.
And what is how do you pull a calendar up on a laptop? Good Lord, why is it so complicated? Okay, so that would be approximately. Oh, that's next week.
Next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay. So I'm not.
And Will's subbing for you is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I should have just taken that whole week. I should have, but I'm just taking those 3 days, I guess, and then. So I do got a vacation coming up, and then the week after that, it's Christmas and New Year's week. So we've got people out, but I'll be here the 3 days of those weeks. We're here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Right.
And I'll be here both of those weeks. And then
actually, hang on, let me see. No, we're actually only here Monday and Tuesday of Christmas week.
Really?
Yeah.
We're taking Christmas Eve off?
Christmas Eve, we got Mannheim Steamroller. Christmas Day, Mannheim Steamroller. And then we're going to do Best of on the day after Christmas.
Dang, I didn't even know that. Oh, that's kind of good. And then the next week, we do 3 days.
Yes. Yeah, we got to work New Year's Eve, but New Year's Day we got off, and we'll be off on the day after that. So
dang, bro. So I work 2 days next week, and then only 2 days the following week. That's crazy.
That'd be almost like a vacation.
Anyway, the reason I bring that up is because my man Will has agreed to fill in for me on 17, 18, and 19. And I'm going to be honest, towards the end of the year, it's kind of better. Like, Will's the type of guy where I know that he can come in here and have, like, a fun show and not be super, heavily political. And that's actually kind of what I want,
There you go.
Especially as we get towards the end of the year. I mean, I think we're better off having fun shows. The news slows down a little bit. While I'm here, I'm going to give you politics, but I think you're better off getting getting some fun shows, having some fun times. And I just got a Christmas card, by the way, from the one and only Roxanne. Everybody remembers The
All right,
Birmingham
then.
radio legend Roxanne. I just got that in the mail. I just opened it. That was so nice. So Roxanne and her husband Wayne, who are just the most precious people that
Really
you're going to
good people,
meet.
yeah.
Thank you for that. That was very nice. She's always been super super kind, and I worked with her for a period of time for a couple of years. You and I both, Steve, worked with her during that time period, and she's awesome. So thank you for that. I don't get a lot of Christmas cards, but there's two that I can usually bank on, and that is Roxanne and Scott Dawson
Oh,
will
very nice.
always send me a Christmas card. And, because I kind of got to know Scott Dawson a little bit when he was running for governor. I kind of like the aspect of a Scott Dawson governor much more than Mimo Ivy. We'd have been much better off, in my opinion. And I don't know how Scott would have governed, but I definitely I during that time I threw my support behind him. And at this point, I'd vote for a turd sandwich over the current governor we had. Because I mean, a turd sandwich is actually an inanimate object, so it wouldn't do near the damage that Kay Ivey has done. You know, it would actually probably clean some things up, as a matter of fact.
Clear a room.
Yeah, Alabama legislature passes something, they send it to the governor's mansion, and they sit it on the desk, and they ask the turd sandwich, "Are you going to sign this?" But the turd sandwich doesn't respond and doesn't sign because it's a turd sandwich. So it's a win for everybody. All right, so what do we got today? So we need to talk about this playoff thing. Okay, I was gonna bring Damian in, but he's off today, so I'm gonna bring him in tomorrow. But I want to briefly talk about this when we get back because it's a little wild, and I think those of us here in Alabama, and we've got a lot of Alabama fans in this audience, we need to have a conversation. And I'm not, as somebody whose team is going to be in the Music City Bowl, I'm going to try to stay as neutral as possible. But I'm watching commentary from all sides of this, and there is some very unhappy people. So we'll discuss that here in a moment. Hey, now, roll call. Let's see who we got. A little refresh here. And going down to our early birds, which is Roger, Jeff in Indiana. Those are only two early birds, which puts number one today. Your winner on this Monday, December 8th, 2025. The one and only Kerry Cook. Hey now, Kerry. Hey now. All right, Kerry, pick you a song there, buddy. Then you got Shane at 2 and Mark at 3. So good job. Freight Pilot at 4. Hell yeah, Ricky at 5. Mike from Canada. Jay, Maggie, grumpy old goat, who says it's too freaking cold. I agree. There is this cold with the rain. Like when I went out, I don't like wearing a jacket. I feel like it's just an extra piece of clothing I got to keep up with. That because you put it on and then you go inside and then you got to take it off and then you got to remember to get it when you leave. And it's just the whole process. I don't like that, but I did have to put one on this morning, and I just left it in the car because when you get in the car, it's so freaking cold. And Hyundai still hasn't reached back out to me. I want to sign up for the Blue Link, and I sent them all the documentation. But here we are months later, and they won't let me sign up because what Blue Link's going to allow me to do is to start my car from my phone and set the heat, and make sure my car's warm when I go out there. But I can't do that because Hyundai is dragging their feet. So if there's anybody that works for Hyundai that can get me help on acquiring the Blue Link, I've never had such a hard time trying to buy something. Like I want to pay for this. And they're like, well, we've got a high volume of emails, and so we'll get to you as soon as possible. Come on. Hurry up. Who would I say? Heath Trent, Jeff, Dr. McBrady, Odin, Scott, Boomer, Tommy, Bo, Cherry, Mark and Kim, Dale. We got Tony, Chris, B, Brad, Michael. We got the chicken lady. Hey now, everybody. Hello. So thank y'all. And one more time, thank y'all for coming out Friday night. Thank you for your giving heart and bringing toys. We got a ton of toys. We got to pose for a picture with the toys. I found a little black baby doll that I held during the picture because I thought it looked cool. But yeah, thank y'all. You're the best. You are the best. All right, so 205-545-9950. That'll get you in on the show. Lot to talk about. We'll break it down on the other side. Is that a first that we had our winner not send a song in?
I think it might be.
Maybe he's busy. That's all right. You can try tomorrow again, Kerry. Let's give it a try. What is J-Lab, by the way? The J-Lab Birmingham Bowl?
I think I looked that up at one point in time, and I can't remember what it was.
J-Lab is the sponsor. J-Lab. What is J-Lab? Oh, it's earbuds. Is that right?
Oh, that'll be in everybody's pack then.
That's kind of cool. I wonder if they're any good. Huh, interesting. Yeah, that's it. They got Birmingham Bowl headphones. They got special, and they're $100. I got these. Some of these are like $100 bucks. Interesting. Okay. Well, I was gonna make fun of it. I thought it was some bio research center, but it's earbuds and headphones, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, the Birmingham Bowl apparently going to be Appalachian State and Georgia Southern, which is, I don't know how interested anybody around here would be in going to that.
Yeah, but it's kind of day trip for the fans because Georgia Southern's not that far away and Appalachian State's in western North Carolina, so
yeah,
they're close.
It's not that far. I mean, is it exciting to drive several hours to come to a place like Birmingham? I mean, I wouldn't
watch your team in a bowl game? Maybe. I don't know.
I wouldn't think so. Here's the thing. The day and age of the bowls are apparently dying because people are bowing out of the bowl game. How many teams have bowed out? I saw a report that there were several. Notre Dame, obviously the most notable one.
Right. Auburn did. And Auburn got approached, which is strange because they didn't even have a 500 record.
Yeah, they went 5-7. Got a bowl up. Why wouldn't they take that?
I don't know.
That's kind of crazy.
And Molly said this morning that Appalachian State and Georgia Southern were like 6th and 7th on the list of the teams that they approached to come play.
Wow. So is this the death of the bowl season?
I think it's coming. I think that and truth be told, the conference championships too.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I kind of think so.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, we've really screwed the pooch on college football. We just ruined it. Then I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you blame some of these teams for saying, "Hey, wow, what's the point in us doing it?" It's all been kind of ceremonial anyway. You never look at a bowl game and say, "Okay, well, we're Music City Bowl champions or whatever." Like nobody really cares. But it's seems like more of a fun thing for the players. They get gifts and all kind, which I don't know that the gift bags even matter anymore anyway, because some of these players are making a ton of money. But
it kind of depends on what's in there.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. So it was, I saw Notre Dame. Let me see. What teams, let's see, what teams turned down bowl games? That would be, most notably Notre Dame, alongside Iowa State and Kansas State, due to coaching changes and roster issues, with other 5-7 teams like Florida State, UCF, Auburn, Baylor, and Rutgers also declining invites due to player fatigue or focusing on the offseason. I mean, focusing on the offseason? It's just one game.
That kind of leads me to wonder how many of them were thinking that their players were going to say, you know what, I'm either declaring for the NFL draft or I'm transferring, and therefore they wouldn't be on the roster.
Yeah, that's a good point. That you've probably got a lot of people, a lot of players that have already signaled that they're going to transfer, and because of that, they're either not going to play or the coach views it as they're not going to give enough for the team, and we'd rather, just bow out and not do a bowl game rather than go lose because half of our team is not in it. So I guess it makes sense. But the college football, man, they got a lot to figure out. But then, all right, so you go back to Saturday, Indiana University beats number 1 Ohio State, which I don't think, I mean, Indiana was an underdog. I think they were like a 3.5 point underdog, but we're so used to seeing Ohio State run the table that it was surprising to some. I'm glad they did. I wanted them to win. And that didn't really shake up a whole lot because you were talking about number 1 versus number 2. And then on the other side of things, Georgia, I mean, can we say Georgia blew out Alabama? Is that fair to say?
Almost an understatement.
And there were things when Alabama was down by 2 points. I'm sorry, 2 scores. They were on their own 15-yard line. It's 4th and 2. They go for it, and they throw the ball. And then they get a turnover, which puts Georgia 15 yards from the end zone, where they ultimately score. I think there was 8 minutes to go. Was that not a bizarre play? I feel like that was a really bad play call, especially based on how Ty Simpson had been throwing throughout the game.
Yeah. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to kind of sort of explain it away with 8 minutes left in the game. They were desperate, but how desperate are you to go for it on 4th down when you're inside your opponent's red zone and you're going to potentially turn the ball over to them and they have less than 20 yards to go to score a touchdown?
Yeah, the where they were, their field placement, should have answered that question.
Yeah, I think I would have punted.
You're on your own 15. And then there was a couple other calls where I'm like, dude, I said, Bammers are going to give DeBoer the business. Not all of them, but there's a lot of them out there that were like, fire DeBoer. And I'm like, oh, I saw that. Now, nobody's going to take that seriously, obviously, but I knew it was coming after I saw a couple of those plays. And yet, Alabama is in the college football playoffs. So that leaves people asking why Alabama, who lost the championship, and not somebody else. And not only did Alabama lose the championship, they barely beat Auburn and lost a game before that. So if you're looking at who's improved and who has not improved, Alabama has improved from the first game, but they seem to be going down a little bit. And Notre Dame's over here like, yeah, we lost our first 2 games, but we won the rest of them. Why are we on the outside looking in? And it's going to be chaos. And I'll go just a tad bit further, and then I'll just drop it until tomorrow, till we can bring Damien in here. So you got Alabama in, Notre Dame out, Vanderbilt out, and several other things that have caused people. And I don't know. I don't know how Alabama fans feel about it as a whole. I've seen some that say that Alabama doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs, and others are like, hey, we'll take what we can get, which would probably, if it was my team, I would be the same way. I'd be like, hey, screw it. We made it. Who cares? But the playoff committee and their decision making is kind of bizarre, and there is actually some blame to be put on Tennessee. I mean, it's not our fault, but they used us as a scapegoat for some of these decisions, which made absolutely no sense. So last week, the committee didn't move Vanderbilt into the top 12 after it beats Tennessee by 21 points, right? And we fell out of the top 25 as a result. So one of the committee members said about Vanderbilt, now that Tennessee is no longer ranked, they just don't have a signature win. So because Vanderbilt beat Tennessee so bad that it fell out of the rankings, that it was essentially punishment. With that logic, Vanderbilt would have been better off beating Tennessee by 1 point instead of blowing us out on the road.
Sounds like.
Which again, I'm glad Vanderbilt didn't make the playoffs because I don't like Vanderbilt. But on the flip side of that, this is the crazy part. The committee then uses Alabama's win over Tennessee as a reason to keep Alabama in the 12-team playoff.
Based upon their ranking at the time that Alabama played them.
Yeah, they said, we evaluated those conference championship games and felt like in the end, regardless of Alabama's performance in the SEC championship, their body of work in those first 12 games when they had probably the best win, arguably the whole season, winning at number 3 Georgia, and having to win against Vanderbilt, win against Tennessee as well, and that their strength of schedule was the highest in the top 11. So, I mean, whatever, I guess. Yeah, the win over Georgia was a pretty good one. I guess you could, maybe even use that as a reason. But really, does rankings really matter? Do rankings really matter until you get to the end of the season? Because aren't you basing this over the whole body of work? So if you go back and say, this team beat this team and this team, well, you need to base on, unless that particular team had fired their coach or had, 10 starters get hurt by the end of the season, you would look at that and say, well, here we are at the end of the regular season. This is where this team landed. That now that I can see their whole body of work, that shows me who they are. But instead, you're saying, well, at this time they were this. And they had to use that same logic with Alabama, considering they lost that to Florida State in the first game. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
The whole thing is a mess.
It is a mess because, the cliche argument is, well, you move to a 12-team playoff. Well, whoever's number 13 is going to be complaining they didn't get in. And while technically that's the case here, but it's the argument of, should that person have been number 13? Should they have been number 12? Should they have been number 11? And it's kind of like, Notre Dame, for instance, I've got no love for Notre Dame, by the way, but I'm just fascinated by how this is all broken down. Notre Dame lost their first 2 games, which were Texas A&M and Miami.
I think that's right, yeah.
Who are both in the playoffs.
Sure.
They turned around, won the rest of their games, did quite a job. Maybe they didn't have the strongest schedule, but, if you look at anything outside of the SEC, most of us will be like, you don't have a very strong schedule, you know?
Well, and that brings me to the other point. Everybody's upset about Alabama. Maybe we should be more worried about the fact that they put 2 Group of 5 teams in there in Tulane and JMU,
Yeah.
who are going to end up going and being killed by their 2 opponents. One of them is Oregon. JMU's got to go all the way across the country and face Oregon in Oregon. They're going to get killed
Yeah.
in all likelihood. Why would we put 2 of them in? Why couldn't we put Notre Dame and or BYU in there?
Yeah, because there seemed to be kind of, why would you want any round of the playoffs to be a fluff game, a cupcake game? And it's seemingly what this is. Now,
would I love to see JMU walk in and beat Oregon in Oregon? Yeah, I think it'd
Absolutely.
be funny as heck, but I don't think it's going to happen.
everybody would love to see that, but it's not going to happen. It's essentially, what it's like playing your homecoming game. You bring in some,
You pay
Division
them
II school, you pay them
$1.5 million to come in and get killed.
Yeah. And I don't think that does. If this is about money, you're not doing any favors for the viewers. So I think Oregon versus Notre Dame, you could obviously leave Alabama in there and then replace Tulane. All right, so if you took out Tulane and James Madison, you put Notre Dame in
Notre Dame and maybe BYU or Vanderbilt.
Yeah, exactly.
I might leave BYU out because of what, and this I kind of agree with the college playoff committee on this. They lost to Texas Tech not only in the regular season, lost to them again in the conference championship game. So, yeah, I would probably leave BYU out and maybe put Vanderbilt in.
Imagine if you did that, you would have Oregon versus Vanderbilt,
Mm-hmm.
and you would have Ole Miss versus Notre Dame.
That was the other game.
That would have been 2 really good matchups.
And another thing to think about, Ole Miss played Tulane in the regular season and ran them off the field.
Yeah. How dumb. But yeah, why would you even put first round playoff game as a rematch of something that's happened? That was
Well, we're going to get that anyway.
Welcome
Welcome to Alabama, Oklahoma.
But also, Ole Miss is in a compromising position with a brand new head coach. Granted, he was already on staff, but
Didn't seem to hurt him in the playoff committee's eyes, though. They
Yeah.
left him right where they were.
let's see. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I hope Indiana wins it all.
I think it'd be hilarious.
That would be wild.
I mean, for a team that until this coach came in was the losingest team in NCAA college football history, to then turn around and jump up and claim the national title.
What's the ultimate underdog story? I mean, I don't want Indiana to become a powerhouse and run roughshod on everybody, but I'm kind of like it'd be nice to see them win it one year.
Be kind of fun, yeah.
It's gonna hurt. Nobody wants to see Georgia as the national championship or Ole Miss.
I can think of one person who wants to see Georgia's national champion.
Yeah, I did text him after that game.
Yeah.
I said, "Let them
Saw him.
dogs eat."
Saw him chirping up there on social media over the
Oh, did
weekend,
you?
too. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. That's wild. Because I got a feel we didn't get to talk to him Friday, but I got a feeling that he was probably super nervous about that. Because I was hearing it from everybody. They were saying we're not worried about Georgia. We got Georgia's number. Georgia can't get over the hump. And technically that was true.
They learned
until
a lot.
Saturday.
They learned a lot from their first go-round with Alabama. And, injuries are injuries. Whatever they are, they're depleted a little bit. But let's face it, the game plan that Georgia had for Alabama worked to perfection.
Yeah. And the problem is that Alabama has to score enough points in the first half to sustain them to the end of the game. And they didn't do that, which is exactly what.
It's what they did in the first game, and they weren't anywhere near as good in the SEC championship.
But doesn't matter. And then you've got also all these people that talk about SEC bias by the committee. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. It could be, maybe it's money driven. I don't know. Just because those in this part of the world, they love their football more. Maybe if you don't want SEC bias, maybe you should start loving your team like we do.
Well, and here's the thing. There's no fan base. I mean, yeah, you get your Michigan, your Ohio State, your Notre Dame, your USC. But as a conference, there's no conference that travels to watch their teams play bowl games or championship games like the SEC does.
Yeah. I don't know. But we'll see. That Indiana quarterback, saw his post game interview. What was his name? Fernando Mendoza.
Oh yeah.
Boy, he was wild. As soon as I watched it, I was like, that's gonna turn out to be a meme for sure. I kind of like that guy. He's cool. He's cool. All right, a lot to get to. Let's when we get back, let's start off with Tim Walz, shall we? Tim Walz is under fire, as you know, with massive fraud going on in the state of Minnesota. He's also battling people driving by his house and calling the R word. He's got a lot on his plate, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon for Tampon Tim. Oh, this is a great one. Great one, Kerry Cook. That's good. It used to be the intro for I think it used to be the intro for Raw. God, man, I might start using that for my intro. That's a good one. All right, last thing I'm going to say. Again, I've been fascinated by this over the weekend, and y'all know how I am. If I find something I'm into, and we'll talk about it. But here's the thing about Indiana. Indiana was the worst team in college football for 150 years. And then they let teams start paying players, and they immediately become number one. And the only conclusion you can draw is that they were the only ones who didn't realize you could pay players under the table for 150 years. Indiana is the most honest team in college football. And that's why I'm cheering for them.
It's an interesting collaboration right there. I like how you linked that all together.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what happened. It's the fact that Indiana had no idea that you could cheat. Otherwise, they could have been...
Either that or they were doing it very wrong.
Yeah. You're doing it all wrong, guys, all wrong. So, Tim Walz. Let's talk about Tampon Tim for a minute. If you want to get in on the show as well, 205-545-9950. Tim Walz is under increased fire as the Minnesota Disability Services have now paused licensing after a 283% increase in new license applications, but only a 25% increase in participants. This fraud that's going on in Minnesota is proving to reach far and wide. So let me explain. The department is reportedly issuing a 2-year ban on new licenses for providers with a moratorium on home and community-based services. This is called their HCBS. Services, most of which are funded by Minnesota's Medicaid waiver programs, will be halted on January 1st until December 31st, 2027. This comes after an explosion in applications for new licenses over the last 5 years, while the number of participants in these programs has only increased by roughly 25%. New license applications have risen by 283%. Tim Walz claims that his state has acknowledged that the findings are serious and that it needs to stop. He said it's stopping. People are continuing to go to prison. I think the good news for Minnesotans to know when that 90-day pause is over and the third-party audits are done, we will have a better picture than we've had, which I think is really good. You'll have a better picture of how bad it is. And meanwhile, the Somali immigrant population is also taking advantage and defrauding American taxpayers through COVID funds to the tune of more than $1 billion in Minnesota. That's probably not even a fraction of it. 70 members of the Somali community, as you know, in Minnesota were involved in stealing $250 million in COVID funds that were intended to feed children. Millions of dollars stolen from American taxpayers, and then a lot of which was sent overseas to Somalia. And 80% of the money has not been recovered and probably never will. You had 7 defendants that were tried in connection with the scheme on charges relating to stealing more than $40 million in taxpayer funds. 5 were found guilty. FBI is still investigating an attempt by a Somali woman to bribe one of the jurors during that case with $120,000 cash. But it goes even deeper than that with multiple schemes like this over the past 5 years. According to the Times, federal prosecutors say that 59 people have been convicted in those schemes so far, and that more than $1 billion in taxpayer money has been stolen in 3 plots they are investigating. It's going to get deeper and deeper and deeper, and my man Tim Walz, losing that election's the worst thing that could have happened to him. He has not only allowed this to happen, but he has enabled it. massive amounts of fraud. And I think about the people that live in these blue states that commit the fraud. Because, sometimes maybe it is criminal organizations, but sometimes it's just ordinary people that are like, hey, the government's giving free money. Why not take it? It happened a lot during COVID. A lot of people were taking advantage of PPP loans, of unemployment benefits, where they weren't actually entitled to them. I know people that have investigated these PPP loans just around Birmingham, and countless individuals found out that if they just came up with a business, just made it up, that they could then get thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars from the government that didn't have to be repaid. It was the Paycheck Protection Program, and as you know, it was intended for businesses to be able to continue to pay their employees because commerce had essentially stopped there for a short period. So the government was like, here's $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and you don't have to pay it back as long as you use it on payroll. Well, a lot of people did that, but also a lot of people came out and said, I own a hair salon that I run out of my basement, and I'm the only employee. If you ran a business and you were the only employee, you were eligible. Uber drivers, DoorDash drivers, they were contractor. They were sole proprietors. So they were somewhat quasi business owners, and they were the only employee. So they apply, they get approved for 10 grand or whatever it is, and they don't have to pay it back. But many people just made up businesses. They just said, I run this business. I sell shoes on TikTok or whatever. Just made anything up and got a fat check for it. And thought to themselves, wow, there's so much chaos going on. They're not gonna come. They're handing out so much money, they're not gonna come after me. And they are now. They have been, as a matter of fact. People ripping off the taxpayers for millions upon millions of dollars. And especially in blue cities, not just for COVID stuff, but those individuals that are ripping off the taxpayers in blue cities, they've got every reason to think that they'll never be prosecuted or they'll ever be held accountable. Chicago Public Schools blowing over $23 million on luxury trips with employees using public funds for high-end hotel suites, airport limousines, first-class airfare, and professional development conferences that were basically vacations. One staff member extended a 4-day seminar into a week-long stay at a Hawaiian resort for $5,000. Another principal in the school system booked a luxury suite on the Las Vegas Strip and quietly extended the trip to celebrate an anniversary. In one school alone, 24 employees billed the taxpayers $50,000 to attend a single Las Vegas conference. The Chicago Public School employees charged more than $142,000 for travel to South Africa, Egypt, Finland, Estonia, complete with hot air balloon rides and game park safaris. Now, these trips took place while Chicago families were told that there wasn't enough money to fully address learning gaps or chronic absenteeism in the schools. The teachers were going on safaris. And you wondered why, especially during COVID, why the teachers' unions, why Randy Weingarten and others were coming out and saying, we're not reopening the schools until you give us what we want. It wasn't that they wanted something. It was that they wanted the schools to stay closed so the federal government would keep pouring money into them and they could continue to live their lavish lifestyle. Chicago was the worst offender in all of this. And again, blue cities and their employees have been taking advantage of the taxpayers the most. Hey now, ladies and gentlemen, hello, and a hey now. Our number 2 of the line, Talk 99.5, Talk 995.com, AndrewMcLeanWho.com, Talk TV, your Real Talk 99.5 TV, and on YouTube, and what else? The Talk 99.5 app. A lot of ways for you to connect with us via Twitter and Facebook and all that jazz. Kerry in the house. Kerry, what's up, buddy?
What's happening, man, on this beautiful Monday?
Yeah, just beautiful outside. Beautiful weather. Nice and cold and rainy and just, I don't know, man. I said at the beginning of the show, I kind of woke up in a sour mood.
Yeah, me too, man.
It-
It's hard when you wake up and it's just blah.
You know, you just, you're not feeling it today.
I remember the sun. It was fun.
That's long gone, dude.
Yep.
It's just cold and rain. And I keep trying to get, I've got all those piles of leaves in my yard
Still.
still. I get, Peyton and I got out there this weekend and we got up maybe like 15 more bags of it. And you couldn't even tell we did anything.
Mm.
I mean, I just ran out of trash bags. And so we stopped.
Well,
And so
you made a dent. That's good.
there's still probably 15 more piles out there, and it keeps raining, so they keep getting wet,
Heavy,
heavy.
smelly,
Yeah.
no fun.
So I also wonder what my neighbors think. They're probably like, is this dude ever going to pick these leaves up? Now, my other neighbors, I mean, the ones directly beside me, they've got their whole yard still covered in leaves, and I'm kind of looking at them like, should have just done that. Should have just left them,
Yep.
because they ain't going to do it.
Left them and mowed them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I would have just mowed them, I'd have been done long ago.
That's the key.
Yeah, long time ago.
Some say it's good for your grass.
I'm just now thinking about it. I didn't see you at the Christmas party. You weren't there, were you?
Yeah, we just never met up.
Really?
I was in the back hanging
Wow.
out. No, I didn't make it.
I knew it. I didn't even think about it
I
because
didn't make it.
I get when we got to do these events. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I get a little bit of anxiety with all the people, especially if it's in a confined space. And so when I looked at you just now, I was like, wait a minute, I don't think I saw him there.
Hence the reason I didn't go. Nobody noticed I wasn't there. The whole night, nobody even thought of me.
So we went through that whole thing for like 2 weeks, and you're like, I'm gonna be there. I'm like, are you sure? You sure you're gonna
Hey.
be there?
I planned on going until about 3:00 Friday, and I said, "Well, let's see how the
What
rest
was-
of the evening goes."
What was the deciding factor?
People being around people.
Yeah.
It happens when you get older, I think.
Yeah. No, I got to meet a lot of cool people, got a lot of toys. It was fun. It was a good time. And
I
I'll be
saw some
honest.
pictures. It looked like it was a good time.
Yeah, it was. And I got to be honest, I'm not encouraging this, but when we do events at a brewery that doesn't sell whiskey, like I got to bring my own flask.
Every time.
And so I just went to the bar and bought a Coke and I pulled out my flask and filled it up because I don't really drink craft beer.
Yeah, I don't either.
So I was also walking around with a jar of peanut butter because I had the hiccups all night. And peanut butter was the only thing that would knock it out.
Man,
So people were kind of looking at me funny, like, why is it? I was literally walking around with a jar of peanut butter and a spoon.
what you got in that peanut butter, man?
You know,
What kind of peanut butter is that?
yeah. And so I couldn't shake my hiccups, man. They were so bad. But yeah, we missed you. I didn't realize we missed you.
We missed
but
you, but we didn't know you were there.
We didn't realize you weren't there.
See, it worked out great.
Yeah, it did. I don't want to go back through this because we're going to talk about it with Damien tomorrow. But just briefly, your thoughts on the college football playoffs?
A lot of bitter folks in the Notre Dame.
But you think it's the right call? Do you think Alabama deserved to be there?
I mean, probably not, but you can't. I agree. You can't. You know, if you lose your championship, you can't get, faulted for that. I mean, you have to.
But if you lose your championship and you've already lost 2 games, one of which was just 2 games prior.
But if you have beaten the team that beat you in the championship already, and it was their only loss of the season, I mean, we'll see. I think they'll have a good showing in the playoff, though.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, Ty Simpson's a lot better than that. The way he played.
Oh, it was awful. Saturday.
It was bad play call. It's kind of, I want to say, some bad coaching, but
yeah, dude, whoever
Georgia was ready to come and play. They were not going to lose again.
Whoever called that 4th and 2 on their own 15-yard line.
Well, I don't mind that call. I don't mind going for it. The play call was horrible.
But
let's make it the hardest pass we can possibly make him throw.
Going for it on the 15, like, that's crazy.
At that point of the game, though, I mean, it's either you score or you lose.
Well, you're 8 minutes to go. You're down by 2 scores.
And you saw well the offense was running. So I have no problem with them running that.
Okay.
It's just the play they ran. I mean, Ty Simpson could have just ran the ball and got the first down.
That's what they should have done.
But he seems to be weary of running the ball.
Mm.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if the people in the sports world were right or wrong.
Have you seen this video? These pictures circulating online from the high school championships were over the weekend or last week,
right?
And Moody won their championship.
They did.
And did you see the pictures of the players were in the locker room smoking cigars?
Yeah, that is not a good look.
Everybody, I'm kind of in the middle on it. I mean, people are losing their minds. They're like contributing to the delinquency of minors, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's illegal and they shouldn't be doing it. But is it really the end of the world? I mean, I see for people calling for the firing of the principal and the mayor and the like is a whole thing.
It's kind of bad doing it in somebody else's locker room. Maybe, smelling it up. But if you play for Alabama and you're 18, 19, 20 years old, I guess it's not. I don't know if the legal age is for cigarettes or tobacco. I think it's still 19 or is it 21?
No, it's 21.
So those kids smoke cigars in the locker room when they win and beat Tennessee. Nobody says anything. So what's the difference?
Yep.
High school, okay. I mean.
Yeah, because if you're 18, I don't know what the breakdown was of the kid's picture. I mean, 17, 18 years old. Really, it's not that big of a deal to me at that age. If you're old enough to go fight for this country,
right?
You should be old enough to smoke a cigar.
It's kind of a stupid. I mean,
and it's not. Smoking a cigar, you're not even inhaling it. You're just puffing on it. So, what's the?
Let them enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see a big deal with
it. Do it on the bus though, not in somebody else's locker room that you're gonna smell up.
But who's the jabroni that was taking pictures of everybody smoking cigars? That's the guy that should catch heat.
Yeah. Why did you document this? Thanks.
Yeah.
It's there forever.
Yeah.
Fire them all.
Close
the program down.
Terrible.
Everybody's going to have a big deal.
Everybody's going to have a different opinion on that.
It's no difference from people in college doing it in their locker room.
But yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. It's to let them boys smoke a cigar. I mean, I remember being in like 10th grade smoking cigarettes under the bleachers at school.
Heck yeah.
It was a no-no in my day, but like maybe back when you were in school, y'all were probably allowed to smoke.
No, we were not.
Really?
I was suspended several times.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What year did you graduate?
92.
92. You sure y'all couldn't smoke cigarettes at school back then?
Well, if we could have, I got in trouble for nothing.
So that must have been more of my, I think my mom and dad.
That was more of a 70s thing. 70s high school.
They graduated in the 80s, maybe, I think early 80s. So, yeah, I guess back in the 70s, back when. I mean, honestly, I think we should get back to smoking cigarettes and bringing shotguns to school.
I mean, why not? Well, I do know that there was a couple of kids who did have shotguns in their trucks.
I mean, look at how less violent school was back then.
Yeah.
Let a kid, if you got a weird kid in class and he looks like he might be a school shooter, be like, here, bro, here's a Pall Mall. Chill.
Go in the back, smoke a cigarette.
Smoke it. Just let him smoke it in class. Who cares?
I mean, it would it may have would have. Well, I don't know because there were no mass shootings back when I was in high school.
That's right, because the mass shooters got to smoke cigarettes and chilled them out.
You stopped it and we'll see what happened.
But we can't do that now because everybody's got allergies and
Oh yeah.
disabilities. Like, oh, my kid's got a this allergy or that allergy. And all that, look, if we're being honest, all that's coming from all the crap food we've been feeding them over the years.
I mean, there's a point to that.
Not just our kids, but what our parents fed us. They fed us crap food as well. But it's gotten much worse as of late.
The problem with that, the crap food's cheap. The good food's not.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't feed your family healthy if you can afford it.
What's safer, the food that we feed our kids or letting them boys smoke a Virginia Slim?
Well, I don't know if they want to smoke a Virginia Slim.
Yeah, that'd be kind of gay. What's worse, the Takis you're feeding your kid or a Marlboro Light?
Ah, that's a good point. Marlboro Lights
Answer that question.
They're lights and much healthier.
Mm-hmm.
Except they call them golds now because you can't say light because it makes people think they're not as bad.
Oh, did they change it for
Oh,
real?
yeah. And
They're called Marlboro Gold.
Marlboro Gold. Stupid.
Interesting.
They used to have ultralights. Can't have that anymore. I don't know what they call those now, but
I used to hate smoking. Lights were okay for a while, but I moved on. I was doing menthol for a while. Yeah.
Those will get you.
Camel Crush.
Camel Crush. Those were you.
Marlboro Menthol. Marlboro. What was the one? It was like kind of a blue package. It wasn't called Marlboro Menthol. It was called Marlboro Ice or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I haven't.
You remember that?
I barely. I was not a big fan.
Yeah.
Just don't smoke Marlboro Reds. Those will get you, man. Whew.
Those are the bad ones.
Man. Take a couple puffs of that. You're good for the day.
It's crazy. I haven't been in the cigarette game in so long that I don't really remember.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty
Smoking
cool.
cigarettes
Yeah.
is cool.
Man, heck yeah.
I mean,
That's why I started smoking because people said it was cool.
What kind do you smoke?
Marlboro Lights.
You smoke Marlboro Light?
Marlboro Gold.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Marlboro Gold. Yeah, it's interesting, because sometimes I'll see people, you almost never see people smoking cigarettes anymore. And so when I see somebody, I'm kind of shocked by it, but then I'm like, I mean, that does look kind of cool.
I mean,
Or when you see somebody in a movie smoking a cigarette, you're kind of like, I actually wish I had one of those.
yeah, that's why
I'd regret it if I did smoke one, but I've been watching Landman with Trish, and every time Billy Bob Thornton lights up a cigarette, I'm kind of like, I bet that's good.
I mean, it's a good show.
I should try one and just document it and post it.
You get a big head rush. Get ready for it. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, maybe not.
I'm consuming nicotine all day every day.
That's true. That's true. I forget about that.
I'm a proponent of nicotine. I'm not going to approve of cigarettes, but I'll approve of nicotine.
Man, I think I smoke a half a pack a day, if that.
Nicotine keeps you alert and focused, and keeps your testosterone pumping through your veins.
It does.
A lot of people don't know that.
You still shouldn't smoke, kids. Though, don't do it.
No, don't do it. This is only for adults that can make adult decisions.
Correct.
And if I find out any of you kids are smoking, I'm gonna get your football coach fired.
No. And
Make your mayor resign.
I've tried to quit several times.
Yeah.
I'm just not a quitter, man.
Have you ever tried anything different? You ever tried like Zins or anything?
A little bit. Yeah,
No.
those are okay.
You like Zins?
It's hard to, when I used to dip, it's hard to know that you can swallow this. I can't. It's hard for me to do it.
Yeah.
Because
I don't guess you have to swallow it because you're still getting or is the nicotine only coming from you swallowing it?
Correct.
It's not like soaking into your gums?
Well,
or whatever?
I think it's both, but, you don't want to have to be spitting everywhere like you did dip, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, just swallow it. I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. Or
I
maybe somebody told me wrong. I don't know.
I remember one time being like, I don't know, I was probably 10, 11, 12 years old, and my buddy had a bag of Red Man.
Biggest buzz of your life.
And we were walking this is the dead of summer. We're walking like a mile from the local convenience store down the road and going back to the house. And he's like, here, man, just try to stick it in your mouth, start chewing it. And I'm like, okay. And when you say stick this in your mouth and chew it, you think chew it like gum, not just kind of let it lightly rest in your mouth.
Oh. He didn't give you the good.
Well,
part.
he said don't swallow it. Well, as soon as you put it in there and your mouth starts filling up with saliva, like some of it kind of gets past the back of your tongue.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, within seconds, I'm like,
first time I dipped, I got the biggest head rush and thought I was dying. Had no idea what was going on. Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
You thought you were gonna die?
Yeah, it was like a sophomore in high school. Or something.
You ever had that happen with gummies? You have, hadn't you?
Maybe. But luckily, I was smart enough to go, yeah, it's just my head. Just in my head, I'm okay.
I'm just a little high.
I'm not having a heart attack. I'm not dying. Give me just 5 minutes and it'll be fine.
All right. Well, if you got cigarette stories, call us 205-545-9950. We got a lot of show coming up right here on the line. Kevin says, "What about Texas? They beat 5 of the teams in the championship, and I guess in the playoffs. Did they beat 5 of the teams in the playoffs?
I don't.
They beat Texas A&M.
Yeah. Didn't play Alabama. Didn't play Georgia.
Who are the 5 teams they beat?
Maybe Tulane.
I don't know.
Nah.
I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong. I don't genuinely.
They're just mad because Oklahoma made it and Texas didn't.
Yeah. I don't think Oklahoma should be there either, honestly. Chris says, "Who cares? I knew kids in high school with 4.0 GPAs that smoked weed." Tony says the Moody head football coach is going to coach at Pell City High School next year, so he doesn't care. He is resigning. Let's see. Chris says 80s bud. It was then I had kids smoking on the monkey bars. Wes says, I graduated in 85. We did have a smoking area. Dave says in the 70s, we had a smoking area at high school, had a shotgun in the rifle rack in the rear windows of the pickup. Dr. McRaddy says, I do not understand the generation of I must document and post publicly my illegal activities. We all just met behind the gym to smoke. My 9th grade year, we had a smoking area. Tony says the Marlboro Lights are now called Marlboro Light and the Loafers.
What is that supposed to mean?
Jeff says Marlboro Smooth. That's the one I was thinking of.
The smooth.
Marlboro Smooth. That's what I was smoking.
That's pretty smooth, man.
Teddy says, I think the smoking in high school is okay as long as they're gluten-free and don't have any red dye number 4. Extra points for the vegan 6.
That's true. That is so true.
Craig says, I used to tell my girlfriend the same thing, just, but he's talking about the red man.
Yeah, probably not finish that line.
And Elton says, have you checked the prices on cigarettes lately? The good brands are like $10 a pack. I smoke the cheap cigarettes. 305 menthol 100s are like $4.75 a pack at DG. Plus, you throw in a 9-milligram nicotine pouch, and you good.
It's a lot of damn trouble, but man,
that's a lot of preparation, but also a lot of nicotine.
Yeah.
So he smokes menthol 100s. With a
nicotine patch.
With a nicotine pouch kicker. That's wild.
Maybe I'll try that. That sounds pretty good.
How much are cigarettes? How much you're paying for your Marlboro Light and the Loafers?
About $10.
Yeah, for 20 cigarettes, $10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's 50 cents a cigarette.
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember back in the day, you'd sell a cigarette for $0.25. You know, if you're trying to make some money off people.
Yeah.
You know.
But when people, used to, people would bum cigarettes from you, you'd be like, all right.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah,
just
now
give
you're like,
one.
I don't think so, dog. You ain't getting a cigarette from me.
Well, you probably don't come across a lot of people asking you for a cigarette.
No, I do not, because I don't,
Nobody really smokes anymore. Jerry says, I smoked 37 years, smoked my last cigarette 6.5 years ago. Not a day goes by that I couldn't smoke a pine tree if I had a big enough rolling paper. He said, not a day goes by that I couldn't smoke a pine tree.
Why would you want to smoke a pine tree?
I don't know.
Why are you rolling your own cigarettes? It's a lot of trouble, too.
John says, what happened to Dale Jackson's show at 10 o'clock?
Where's he been, man?
I mean, that's so long ago. I don't even remember what happened to him.
No, is he in jail?
No, he's doing a show. He's doing a show in Huntsville, and he's doing one in Chattanooga. I don't remember how that all played out, though. Honestly, I just remember it moving me to 4 hours.
Wasn't that like a year ago that happened?
Yeah, I mean, if not longer. Well, no, you're right. It was about a year ago because I think we had to let JB go right before it happened. So I think maybe the first of the year marks a year of that.
Yeah.
So poor John hasn't tuned in since, well, at least hadn't tuned into the first hour for a year, which, it happens. You got to work and everything else. So anyway, welcome back, John. We appreciate you listening to us. No, I don't know where Dale Jackson is. Let's see. Donna from Calera, she says, I have a cigar story. Smoked a cigar from my friend G that my friend Gigi brought over. The one Lavoie's restaurant. Hold on, One Lavoie's restaurant, she was my neighbor, and so we thought it would be a good idea to smoke a cigar, and I think that cured me from ever smoking, so don't smoke a cigar and inhale. Okay, I get it. Oh, she said autocorrect. She says she's trying to say she smoked a cigar with her friend Gigi that her parents owns the Italian restaurant. That was not a good idea since we inhaled the whole cigar.
Yeah, that would not be a good idea.
No, do not inhale the cigars. Justin says they graduated in 2006. One of our teachers used to let kids smoke cigs in her classroom during lunch period as long as they were by an open window. In 2006?
Oh, geez, what school was that?
I remember when I was younger, maybe like 8th or ninth grade, my bus driver giving cigarettes to seniors as they would get off the bus.
Sweet.
All right, in Quantico, Virginia, FLOTUS, the first lady, Melania Trump, hottest first lady ever, is speaking at a Toys for Tots drive, which is always cool. You know, Melania does it for the kids. Let's just listen to a moment of this. We won't. She never speaks long, so let's just dip into that for a moment.
Santa Tower. Where are you, Santa? Thank you for joining me. Today, we are here for one of the most beloved traditions of the holiday season, Toys for Tots, led by United States Marine Corps Reserve. For more than 75 years, Marines and volunteers across America collect and deliver new toys to children who need a little extra joy during Christmas, all wrapped with love and great care. To everyone here at Quantico and all those who support the Toys for Tots Foundation, thank you. This includes the Toy Association's generous support. I'm grateful for your partnership and dedication to promoting fun and creativity. You help bring the delight of Christmas morning to millions of children, and you remind us all that American tradition, kindness, and love remain among our most powerful. To the families of military personnel, you are the heart of today's celebration. Your strength in the face of the adversity is inspirational. Some of the children here today have a parent stationed away from home right now. I know this can be difficult. On behalf of our nation, thank you. And thank you to the parents and guardians who are here today. Your support and resilience empower our Marines to serve with honor and distinction. Whether near or far, you eliminate every occasion, enriching everyone's life. This Christmas season, you, your friends, and your families should wish for the ultimate gift, love. After all, love travels further than Santa's sleigh and American ospreys. Thank you, and Merry Christmas, and happy and healthy New Year.
Yeah, there's the First Lady. I was waiting for her to go, shut them kids up in the background. No. Love Melania, man. She's awesome. And her accent's always just on point. The way she pronounces things. I thoroughly enjoy that. I enjoy it. All right. Couple more. Greg says started smoking in 10th grade, 1985. Quit in January of 99. Last pack I bought for myself to smoke was $1.89 plus tax. Wouldn't that be nice, Carrie?
That would be nice.
That would make how much would a carton be? Carton would be like $20.
Something like that, yeah.
And a carton now is $100.
I don't know, something close to it, unless you get them on a cruise ship.
That's crazy.
That was cruise ship's pretty cheap.
I noticed the phone line says, the caller ID says your loan awaits.
Yeah, I think that's spam. We can put them on, though.
Let's see. Okay.
Maybe we should answer it and get a loan.
I know. We should. All right, 205-545-9950, 545-9950. Also, Bubba Rumble says that Andrew colonized Del Jackson's airtime. Hey Now Nation, domination in effect. Then kind of colonizes time slot. Let's go to Jeff next. Jeff, what's up, buddy? Hey now. That's exciting. That's good educational content. Yeah. Well, the problem now is the fact that we've got so many kids that are off their rockers for a plethora of reasons. Obviously, some of it, maybe just over time, the crap in our food, the medications that doctors are throwing at parents to give to their children and stuff like this. And it causes some of these kids to go crazy. And you really didn't have that back in the day. I mean, doctors weren't pumping, elementary school and high school kids full of medication, at least for the most part. And so you had less instances of, mental breakdowns among your peers in school. People just, when they were facing hard times, they would deal with it. When a bully would pick on somebody, in a lot of cases, that you fought back. Like, that's the rules. If you want a bully to stop picking on you, you get in a fight with them. You fight back, and guess what? They end up stopping. And nowadays, it's different. Not just inside the school itself, but you've got this entire world of kids being online and talking to all kinds of bad people, or being harassed online, and this, that, and the other. And it's just and I say it a lot when it comes to raising kids. Like, those of us that have teenagers or even kids younger than that, we can't really raise our kids like our parents raised us. And throughout history, that's kind of just been the thing that's been the given, that you just raised your kids like your parents raised you, because you say to yourself, well, I mean, I turned out all right, so I just, it's the only roadmap you have to know really how to parent, is to look back at your mom and dad and see how. And sometimes that would be bad, because sometimes people grew up with bad childhoods, and instead of trying to correct course, they do the same thing their parents did, and it ends up being a vicious cycle that's hard to break. But nonetheless, in the big picture, human nature is to do that. And because the world is so different, like what we're talking about with schools and online and everything else, you've got to treat them differently. That's true as well. Yeah, that's the other big part of it, is the coddling that so many people do, and it's a recipe for disaster. That's for sure. All right, Jeff. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've thought a lot about how why kids act the way they do, and you see it often. A lot of it is parents being a friend instead of a parent. Some of it is just kids, especially in the teenage years, being more of a nuisance than anything to the parent. They're out there living their life. They're in a certain season of their life. They just got divorced and they're going out and partying and just telling their kid to go do whatever. And it just, it's not good, man. Parenting is one of the biggest responsibilities that you will ever have as a human. One of the biggest, if not the biggest, because what you're doing is you are forming a citizen that is going to go out into the world once they become an adult and affect other people's lives? And are they going to affect other people's lives in a positive way or in a negative way? Are they going to go out there and even when it comes to like who your kid ultimately marries, you got to show them what they need to be looking for in a significant other, you know? And the way you teach them that is what they see at home. For instance, if a little girl grows up and sees a violent situation where a mom is with a dad or a boyfriend that's abusive, well, there's a good chance that little girl's going to grow up and get herself in an abusive relationship because that's her roadmap. That's what she knows. And I've seen it over and over. And it's a generational cycle that is almost impossible to break. And so it's up to us as individuals, no matter what your parents did or the troubles you had with as a kid, to look at those situations and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that with my kid. I'm not going to, I'm going to do things the right way. And that's a double-edged sword as well, because some of the coddling comes from that. Some parents had a rough childhood, and they're like, I don't want my kid to go through that. I'm going to give them everything and tell them how special they are and how, everybody needs to understand that they're the best in the world. Then they get out they get out in the real world and realize that nobody gives two drops of piss about them. that you got to earn what you want to get. You got to work hard to earn money, to earn success. You got to work hard to earn respect of people. So it's a complicated issue, but it's something that every single person can do, is to do the right things by your kids. And if the kid wants to smoke a cigar after a freaking state championship, let them do that too. I don't care. As long as they're getting good grades, as long as they're being a responsible human being, let them smoke a dadgum cigar. Just don't let them smoke a Marlboro Light in the loafers. So this has turned into Tobacco Monday on the line. Everybody's still talking about it. Jerry says, I remember when my mother used to buy 2 cartons every Friday at the grocery store for $19, Winston 100s. $19, man, for a carton. That's what is that, 200 cigarettes?
I think so, yeah.
10 packs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, before my mamaw passed away, my dad used to go to the tobacco store and get her a couple packs. She used to smoke those orange Pall Malls.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't think she always smoked those, but that's what, towards the end of her life, that's what she was smoking. I don't know for how long she had that brand. I don't remember what she smoked before, but she always smoked in the house. Like, it was, I grew up with everybody smoking in the house.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I was always smoking in the house. Wasn't no big deal, man. It was just, as life.
It's their house. They do it what they want.
Smoke in the house, baby. What's the big deal? And, yeah, he would go buy her 2 cartons of those orange Pall Malls. I actually have a pack. When she passed away, she had a carton left over. So we all kind of, all the grandkids took a pack of them and kept them.
Smoke one a year. Remembrance of Grandma.
In remembrance of Mama, I've got a pack of Pall Malls at the house.
I bet they're pretty still by now, though.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to open them, obviously. Let me put them in a picture frame or something. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. She loves some cigarettes.
Well, you shouldn't smoke. That's just all. You shouldn't smoke.
Yeah.
It's not cool. Don't do it.
It's not good for you. There's a lot of stuff not good for you, but, there's too many different options on how you can get your nicotine these days, you know? You don't have to do it through cigarettes. You don't have to do it that way. All right, Alabama Men's Clinic. Speaking of testosterone, we are giving you the ideal way to get your testosterone fixed without having to just do it on your own or smoke the cigarettes or whatever. There's a real viable solution. And the thing is, you really need to get tested to make sure that you're a candidate and how much of a candidate you are for getting your testosterone adjusted. As you know, low testosterone affects everything from your intimate life to your to hair loss to gaining weight to Peyronie's disease. There's a lot of different things that testosterone is tied to, and most people don't realize it, which is why you need to get with Alabama Men's Clinic. Go to the website, set an appointment, or call them at 205-598-7000. That's 598-7000. And tell them Andrew McClain sent you. Get yourself an appointment, let them run the lab work, do the consultation, and they come up with a plan specifically designated for your needs and your testosterone levels. No better way to do it than Alabama Men's Clinic. Chris is in Birmingham. Chris, what's up? Good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's disgusting. Not bad. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. All right, Chris, I appreciate it. Always check your cans for ashes around the lip of it.
Yeah, I can say I've done that before too.
Yeah, because anybody that smoked has dumped their ashes into a can before.
This is true. And the cigarette butt.
Everybody's done it. What's worse, drinking a Coke with ashes and a cigarette butt in it, or drinking a bottle of Mountain Dew that's got somebody's spit in it?
I would say the spit Mountain Dew would be gross.
Is that worse?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's could you imagine? Because it's not only the tobacco juice that's gonna make you puke, like you're drinking somebody else's saliva.
Yeah. That is not good.
Oh, that's the worst.
Ugh,
bro.
ugh.
That is the worst.
Has that happened to you, I guess?
I don't know. I don't think so. I've probably done the cigarette gimmick before, but I don't think I don't know that I've drank out of a bottle that had somebody's tobacco spit in it. I did have that one incident when I was a kid. We were at Gunnersville, the lake, and I guess a bee got in my Mountain Dew can, and I went to drink it, and
No.
a stinger got me in the tongue.
No, it didn't.
Oh yeah, dude. It was like I guess a yellow jacket or something.
God.
Oh, it was brutal. I was traumatized by that because I still remember it vividly to this day, and I was probably like, 6 or 7 or 8.
Man.
I
bet that
remember.
did hurt.
I remember it happening. I remember what we did after the fact. That was back in the day where you could fix a kid's problems by going to Blockbuster and renting a movie, like renting a VHS.
Well, I mean, what you should have done is put tobacco on it. You
Is-
should have, they say
Yeah.
that's good for bee stings.
That's true.
So it all comes in full circle.
Yeah. So that happened, and my mom went to the local video store and rented a movie for me, and I watched it on the VHS in the camper.
I bet you cried, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I'm sure I did.
I think I would cry right now if that happened.
I'm sure I was screaming bloody murder. Like it was pretty bad. And we rented the what was the movie? It was the Mario Brothers movie. The real life action movie.
Oh my gosh.
You remember that?
I do.
I don't remember who played in that movie, but that was the one.
What was it called? Luigi and
I don't know. I think it was just called Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
And that made you feel better.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, my tongue was swollen up. It was like filling my entire mouth. I'm like, what about the Mario Brothers?
A lot of Benadryl. Did you take some Benadryl to make it
I
swell?
don't know. We probably didn't have any Benadryl. We were camping.
Just suck it up.
You didn't take medicine with you when you went camping back in the day.
That's true.
But yeah, we should have just busted open a cigarette, Marlboro Red 100, and rubbed the tobacco on my tongue.
Yeah. Been much better.
That would have been a much better idea. All right, I'm going to get you some more of your phone calls when we get back. 205 545 9950 545 9950. Scott says, my cousin was in Desert Storm in the 90s. He brought me some cigarettes from Saudi Arabia. They were hand-rolled, tasted and smelled like they came from a camel's butt, which they probably did. That's probably how they roll them. Stick them in the camel's butt, pull them out, and bada bing, bada boom. Although that is surprising. I would think Saudi Arabia would put out some good quality tobacco products.
Yeah, all the restrictions they have. Yeah, I bet it's real good. Turkish
Or
cigarette.
at least like Qatar would have some nice cigarettes. Is that where the Turkish gold comes from?
Supposedly, it says Turkish on the pack, right?
Mm.
I wouldn't smoke them.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. 545-9950, hour number 3 of the line. Coming up, we're halfway through right after this.